is now Toothless Tuesday. Anybody else get a tooth pulled today? I'll wait. I can wait forever for you guys to respond. Okay. Nobody else got a tooth pulled today. That's great because I finally got my fourth wisdom tooth pulled out. You guys don't care. You just eat your tacos. We're doing a fresh Hearthstone arena. That's what we're here for. That's what you guys want to see. You guys want to see the arena. You don't want to hear about my tooth, my big wisdom tooth that was taken out. But if you see a little bit of blood come out here, at least I got the beard to hide it. But just let me know, okay? Just be a bro. Let me know if I get a little bit of blood coming out. And just a heads up, I would do the same for you, chat. If I see you bleeding in chat, I will help you out. So let's be buddies. So Shaman has been the most fun. Let's jump right into this. How's everybody doing today? Let's jump right into this. I have been having so much fun with Shaman, but maybe to get more people to like us, to like me, we have to win more, which means maybe we take the Paladin? Though Call to Arms was just nerfed today, and nothing was nerfed on the Shaman because the Shaman didn't need a nerf. So that's probably why nothing was nerfed. But I think so. We had 4 Blazing Invocations in our last Shaman run, and they were definitely miss. Kung Fu, one of our best friends here, let us know that there are quite a few minions with Battlecry. So we're actually going to do a Hearthstone Arena Insight YouTube channel about it. I'm going to do that this weekend. We're going to talk about Blazing Invocation. So Saucy Cheese wants to see the Paladin. All right, let's do it. If I get offered 3 Call to Arms, though, I'm going to be a little sad. Okay, don't have to worry about the Call to Arms when we get the the baller choices right away. Having a Primordial Drake and knowing it is extremely strong. We'll probably get offered another Steed. And Vine Cleaver is great, but it's not extra on top. The Pally is probably a better choice, though our first 12 win in Witchwood was Shaman. I'm just saying, there's been a couple micro changes to make Shaman better by making other classes a little worse, but the Paladin is still supposed to be top. So I think I definitely want both of these cards in my deck, but this one surprisingly has the biggest swing, especially if we get an equality. Especially if we get another Steed, it's way more likely we'll get offered a second Steed than a second Drake. So we're gonna just start with a fat dragon. Plus the dragon tag helps with the attack. Yeah, oh yeah. Well, it's it should go further than Shaman because you're relying a lot less on luck. You need a lot of luck with the Shaman, as we've seen before. Unstable evolution has not been the the biggest friend of ours. Okay, so we're looking pretty heavy already, which makes me think maybe we take one of the smaller drops. But you know what? Having a Crystal Lion to come and play later, but Lost in the Jungle really gives you such a strong early game. But if it comes later, if it's not turn 1 through 4, let's say, then we need it for synergy with stuff like this and Silver Sword. Let's take the Lion. I like the Lion a lot. Ooh, we've already got three good cards coming at us. Look at that! Wow, this deck is already better than a Shaman deck. You're right about that, Sausage Cheese. We'd have to get some good Shaman cards. Speaking of good cards, though, I'm gonna call it now that we need a legendary here, Blizzard. We've had some crummy luck with legendaries. I was reading a friend today, he had 5 legendaries in his arena run. I don't think we've had 2 in 2018. And we do a lot of arena runs. So we've got Grumble last night, that was really fun. We had Umbra and Warlock last week, and that did not work out. Let's get a legendary, and then let's also get a card draw, see if we can get that guy. Maybe we steed that guy up. Ooh, speaking of steeding something up, we got the Bone Mare. I like the Scalebane way better for mid game though, and right now we've got some late game. Let's get a mid game. So we definitely want a silence if we see one. There are no classes in Paladin that silence. The best we can do is reduce a minion's attack to 1, health to 1 with a secret, or stats to 3/3. So we want a silence, we want a strong poison, and we probably want a weapon destruction, but not over Fungalmancer. This guy has jumped ahead of Bone Mare since Bone Mare got knocked up one. So 2 8-drops is dangerous, except Bone Mare always has a target in Paladin. Even if it's turn 10, you always have their liable target with the hero power. And that's only true for 2 classes, the Shaman and the Paladin. So there's times where getting your Bone Mare out when you're behind is impossible with other classes. You need a 2-drop. And if you haven't drafted that many or you've run out of them, it's tough. So Bone Mare, because of that, I put it higher even in Paladin. But they've got Steed too, and we'll see another Steed. I was just saying, I want a poison. This is my my second favorite one. I like the Basilisk better, and this is the closest we're going to get to a silence. And this is just a solid 3-drop. I'm going to take the poison. I'm going to take the poison, make sure that we've got it. You know, being able to adapt is also a poison, but we need some minions. We're going to take this guy. We got to get something out on the board before we lose the game. So here's another conviction. I like the idea of having one of these, but not over the elemental. I've been having some conversations with people online. They're asking me how to get to 12 arena wins. I had 2 in a row, so that sparked some people's interest. And then, so I go through the same thing with them that I go through on the stream with you guys. But the main thing is to get the advantage, right? That's true of anything in Hearthstone, but since it's arena, you have to make those choices now that get you that advantage later. So something like the elemental for 2 guys, hopefully to buff with our silver sword, or just to have in play with the Fungalmancer, is going to be huge. That is going to be extremely important, more than the silence effect we might get out of the 3/3, especially in Paladin, keeping the pressure going. And speaking of that, we've got to take the 2-drop. I want the card draw, but we already took 1 card that's specifically for card draw. Hopefully we get another Hammer of Wrath, but more likely we'll get a Murloc that works with this guy. So let's focus on that. So the meta's slowed down a little bit, which makes this guy really good again, and not as good as when Witchwood first started and everything was late game. But we need a solid 3-drop. That could be a 6-drop. That could be a 9-drop, and we need some taunt. Oh, this is tough. So we already passed up 1 weapon destruction, but it's next to another 2-drop. We don't have our silver sword yet, but this guy does work with the Crystal Lion. I think we got to take the Ooze, because then against like half the classes, we get to just have a solid 2-drop. We might have to hold on to it against the Paladin matchup, mirror match, especially if we don't get a silver sword. But Violent Worm is the best 8-drop outside of Primordial Drake and Lich King. He's so good. There's the crazed doctor that came out that I thought was going to be better than he was. He hasn't really hit the mark, because a lot of the times if you're ahead, then they just trade and you don't get the heal, right? It's not as big a deal. Or if you're behind, then they just swing past him. He doesn't have taunt or anything like that. Whereas the Worm, upon his death, is almost more of a threat when you get the board filled with grub. Alright, so I don't think we care about the elemental tag, and we don't have a 4-drop yet, so we've got to take the Chain Gang here. Got to make it work. Stonehill Defender is best for Paladin. It's so insane. It's up there for Warlock, except Warlock has, I think we counted 7 taunt minions, and since Discover favors the class more than neutrals, you could get offered, even if they're all Warlock cards, it's not guaranteed to be Rin or Voidlord. But with the Stonehill Defender, if it's a Paladin card, it's a good one. Sound the Bells is almost impossible to pass up on your first one. The value out of it is just too crazy. So this guy, we actually have a lot of chances to make this guy work. But our 3-drops are still looking good, and 2 Fungalmancers is the best way to trigger your opponent. So let's get a second Fungalmancer. Oh man, we really want a weapon, but I don't think we want it that badly. This is a tough one. What are our 4-drops? We still only have the Chain Gang, so hitting this guy on curve might be worth it if we No, we can get better value out of this. I probably will regret passing up the Stegadon when we see another Lost in the Jungle or something, but I just can't do it right now. There's a weapon worth taking. We'll take that guy. We'll make that work. Oh, there it is. The 5-drop call to arms. Can we run it? Let's see here. If we played this card, it only has 3 targets right now. All of which I wouldn't mind recruiting, but we're gonna mulligan trying to get these guys, so I can't do that. We've got 2 Fungalmancers and the Scalebane. The Bone Mare is just is too slow right now. We need something to help us in the middle of the game. We'll take the Consecration. And there's the Silver Sword. Exactly what we've been looking for. That'll round out the deck perfectly. And there's the second Steed. Easy peasy. And that's a little sad to see the second Vine Cleaver go, but we've got 2 weapons already. You never want, at least for me, you never want more than 3 weapons, especially in Paladin, because the effects of those weapons are control effects. They're board present effects. They're not just getting an extra damage or getting in a quick trade. What you do with your Sword of Justice is very important. What you do with your Silver Sword is very important. And they both have a lot of durability. So same thing with Vine Cleaver. That one's the best one for just going face and summoning your minions, but it's not always guaranteed. So Blessing of Might, I stopped using Hearthrina because I disagreed with too many of their rankings. But Blessing of Might, I guarantee you, is probably right now rated higher than the other 2. Holy Light, though, can be a huge swing. It can help you catch up. It can get you to the Silver Sword. It's surprising how big one Holy Light will do. It's kind of like Frost Nova with Mage. Just one of them at the right time is an insane value. The same thing is true for Blessing of Might, but we've already got some buffs and some aggression. So I'm considering taking one Holy Light. We had to pass up on the Shroom Brewer. If we had one minion that healed, it wouldn't be a problem. I'm considering taking the Holy Light. It's crazy what it can do for you guys. I'm telling you, it's not the difference between a 12, an 11, and a 10 win deck. It's not going to put you over the edge like that. But neither are any of these guys, right? The Blessing of Might is for early game or for finishing something off or a trade mid game. The Holy Light gives you options for coming back after the Fungalmancer trade, right? If we top this guy turn 7 and we buff, our hunter and heal it, it's kind of crazy what you can do with a Holy Light. I'm going to take the Holy Light. We're going to make it work. I'm going to be a little sad if we see another heal. So I was just talking about the weapons. This over the Vine Cleaver, the champion, would actually be the weapon that I would lean towards more because of its impact mid game. But a 3-drop that helps us with that is just as valuable. Okay, so I would like to have another Sound the Bells, but the equality is perfect in this deck. We've got a Consecrate, we've got a Drake. I mean, it's a 10 mana combo, but it's a GG combo. Okay, it's a Twisted Nether followed by a Doomsayer. They can't do anything about it. Oh, there's our other Murloc. We had to pass up on a second one of this, so this is the 3rd Hunter. I think we might need the card draw though, or the Jailer, just to spread the board at some point. So I applied for, if you haven't heard me say it already, I applied for Game Director. When that happens, I'm putting a radio button on here that tells you how many bloody minions you have, because we've got the Silver Sword now. What's up, Floating Fish? You're just in time for the last quarter of the draft. Let's get it done. It's looking good. I really want a Legendary, though, so we're going to keep your fingers crossed. Maybe you're my good luck showing up. I got 5 picks left. Help me get a Legendary. What do I have targets-wise for him? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, now this is a minion, but it doesn't really count. Because you know what? We need the Jailer. Just looking at our double Fungalmancer, having something quick and easy to drop. I mean, I could hold on to those recruits for days until we get these guys. That's totally worth it. I think we take this guy just for another 2-drop, right? So this says we've got a lot of 2-drops, but one's a Holy Light that we're holding on to for a good time. One's an Equality that we're holding on to for the perfect time. Potion of Heroism and Sound the Bell, same thing. You're not dropping those on turn 2. So really, on turn 2, we've got the Hunters and the Jailer and the Ooze against, half the classes. Where we'll hold on to the Ooze very likely against definitely Paladins and probably Warriors. So I think we take this guy for the 2-drop. What are our 5s? Our 5s are good in Buffy. Our 6, late game we've already got all the fat we need. Yeah, let's take another 2-drop. Let's make it work. Okay, there's another 2-drop, but Volcanosaur is a really good option. We've got nothing on 7. So we could have an awkward turn 7. What are our 4s really looking like? Just the Chain Gang and the Consecration? Alright, that's easy. We need a nice 4 in there. Alright, here's a good 2-drop. Now we're getting some more curve. Okay, we need the next one to be legendary, guys, so help a brother out. Keep those fingers crossed. I don't think we need a second equality. Though, with the combos we have with it, could be really good. But if I get both of these cards after I mulligan, for example, I would much rather have had either of these ones. So you got to think of that sometimes too. Just like in the unluckiest world, you mulligan your Violet Worm, your Silver Sword, and your Primordial Drake back into your deck. You're getting 3 fresh cards, and they're both the equality. I don't know. What do our 3-drops look like? So we're dropping that guy turn 3, that guy turn 3. Yeah, let's take the Pumpkin Peasant. That gives us a chance to hopefully hold on to the Militia or the Wasp around turn 3, if that's what happens. So I had to pass up on one of these earlier, so I think we take it now since we've got the Jailer. Though the Mind Control tech is a much bigger swing in the game. So we didn't get our legendary. We gotta get to 12 wins without our legendary. Wouldn't be the first time. We've got a really healthy deck looking here. I don't think either of these are bad. Just most often, what is going to win us the game? I think the Mind Control tech. We've got so many other minions that are so good. I think we need the Mind Control tech in case we get behind against like a Priest or Warlock, something that has those huge minions that we don't have a silence for. We have answers, right? We could get through an Obsidian Statue with the Giant Wasp if we're really on top of it. We could just beat through them with our Fungalmancers. The idea is just to get ahead at that point. But the Mind Control tech, I think, is the bigger swing there. So there we go. So we got it. All right. So no silence. We're sad to see no silence. That's the first thing I always look for. We even passed up on a Dark Conviction or two just because of the other choices. So the closest we've got is the Peacekeeper or the Stonehill Defender into a Tarim. Those are those are our options there, or the Equality at the right time. So we've got some options that are non-silence, and then we've got a Weapon Destruction if it comes to that. We've only got. Did we only end up with one card draw with the Acolyte of Pain? Oh no, and we've got the Potion of Heroism, so that's good. I did have to pass up on a Hammer or two, which I think in the end I'm okay with because these 4-drops are nice solid in the 4 spot here. And we've got the Stonehill Defender and getting the Silver Sword set up are going to be our objectives here. So the Stonehill Defender is our only card that gives us a card outside of the game, not counting, the Echo from here or the Echo from these guys. So there's value in other cards, but there's no surprise value, right? There's no Bone Drake. There's nothing that's going to be like, oh, I got an extra minion from my Jailer, or oh, I got an extra Elemental. There's no other discover besides the Stonehill Defender. So we're gonna have to rely on that, and then use our wits to get ahead. Use our weapons and our really strong minions. So if you see some weird trades going on, that's what I'm thinking. All right, let's do it.